Hi dear students, welcome you all on the behalf of Rahul Biology Tutorials. So as you know that I am Rahul and this is somewhat around my channel whose name is actually the Rahul Biology Tutorials. So now let's begin with the very interesting topics which are often being asked in terms of your Neet, often the Aims, often the All India Pre-Medical examinations. So these are literally belonging from which of the chapters of your book. So these are belonging from the here main of the microbes in human welfare. Literally, when we are talking about these things, means what are actually the microbes? Remember, what are microbes? Microbes are what? So microbes play an important role to promote the certain of the chemical reaction. Often your microbes play an important role as well as helping the living organisms such as what? Such as the human being. Often certain of the microbes playing an important role to cause what? To cause literally the different types of the diseases. Now, so let's understand about these means in terms of the microbes in human welfare. Remember, so your microbes are often playing important role in terms of the human welfare, in terms of the industrial welfare. Often the branch of science in which we literally study about these microbes. So these are called as what? So the branch of science in which we study about the here meant of the microbes. So these are called as the microbiology. Often when we are talking about who was actually the father of the here meant of the microbiology. So the lowest position was the actually scientist who was actually the here meant of the play important role as well as known as what? So he is known as the father of microbiology in terms of your lowest position. Now, so let's understand about these things means in terms of the microbes in human welfare. So these are playing important role in order for the formation of curd. Remember, so curdling of milk is the important process in terms of the microbes in human welfare. Often these are playing important role in terms of the idli dosa formation as well as the baking, then the cheese formation. Now, so when we are talking about these things, you have to understand the certain more facts in it, such as in this case we are having the lactobacillus. So your lactobacillus is often particularly known as what? So your lactobacillus is often particularly known as the lab, means the lactic acid bacteria. So these lab means the lactic acid bacteria playing an important role in order to convert the milk into what? Into actually your curd. As well as when we are talking about these things means in terms of the lactic acid bacteria. So these literally do what? So your lactic acid bacteria literally imparts the sourness or rather the sour taste in terms of your curd. Understood? As well as when we are talking about these things in terms of the lactic acid bacteria. So these are often playing an important role in order for what? So your lactic acid bacteria often play an important role to provide the sourness taste in terms of the curd, as well as these lactic acid bacteria, or rather you could say that the lactic acid plays an important role in terms of the coagulation, as well as what? As well as these literally partially digest the milk protein. Often when we are talking about these things in terms of the here meant of the lactobacillus. So your lactobacillus playing important role in order to convert what? So your lactobacillus playing important role in order to convert the lactose sugar in terms of what? In order to convert the lactose sugar into the here in terms of the lactic acid. Understood? So when we are talking about the lactobacillus, in this case we are having the particular sugar. So these are known as the lactose sugar. So your lactobacillus playing important role to convert the lactose sugar into the lactic acid, as well as we are often very clear about that means these lactic acid play important role to impart what? So these lactic acid play important role in order to impart the sour taste in terms of your curd, as well as this here meant of the lactic acid often playing important role in terms of what? In terms of the coagulation, as well as what? This plays an important role or rather the significant role in order for the here meant of the conversion of state, such as here just we have understood about the coagulation, as well as these are often particularly playing important role to digest what? To digest partially the milk protein. So when we are talking about these things, means what are actually the protein? Remember, so protein are the macromolecules of amino acid. So when small particularly amino acid are literally combining, so these result in the formation of your protein. As well as when we are talking about the here meant of the lactic acid bacteria. So these are often playing important role to increase the nutritional values of the particular food product. By what mechanism? By particularly increasing the vitamin B12. As well as you are often very clear about that. Remember, so we are having the vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin B, vitamin B12, or either the another types of the vitamin. So the particular vitamins are the essential biomolecules or either the component whose requirement is essential in terms of the human or either the other living organism's body. And if the organism is having the deficiency of these particularly life-giving biomolecules actually such as the vitamin, then the person or either the other living organism will be suffering from vital types of the diseases such as, remember, so we are having the rickets. In term the bones literally become curved or either bow shaped. Often we are having the night blindness as well as the another symptoms. So these symptoms of the disease could be treated by using these kind of particularly vitamins such as the vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin B12 or either the another types of the vitamin. As well as when we are talking about the another facts in terms of your microbes, so these microbes do having playing important role in term for what? In term for the course of the digestion, or either you could say that these in term of what? These in term of the here meant of the lactobacillus bacteria is often having the significant role in term of what? In term of the stomach. So these play important role in term of the stomach or particularly the living organism. So let's understand as well as elaborate these terms or either the mechanism. So your lab, mean in term of what? Mean of the lactobacillus bacteria is playing important role to check against the growth of the disease causing microbes. You are very clear about that, means what actually the disease, remember. So those particular agents which is producing the discomfort like symptoms in terms of our body, so these are coming under the case of disease, understood. So here main term of the lab means in terms of what? The lactobacillus bacteria often playing important role in order to produce or rather do the check against the disease causing microbes or rather the microorganism. Often you're here meant of the microbes playing important role in order for what? In order for the breakdown of the food, remember. So in our food, of course, when it is being descended in terms of our abdominal cavity, in terms of our stomach region, so it literally reacts with the HCl as well as the another kinds of the acid. Just we have understood in terms of the lactobase here made of the lactose acid or either the lactic acid, as well as these particularly bacteria in terms of what? The lactobacillus bacteria playing important role in order for the breakdown of the food into the simpler components, as well as the mode of particularly digestion in terms of the human being. You are very clear about that, remember. So we are having the hologenetic mode of nutrition, means what? So we are having the different modes as well as the pattern in it, such as what? Such as the ingestion, then the digestion, as well as the absorption, then the ejection. So we'll be understanding about these terms in brief in the next chapter of the digestion and absorption of the food, etc. But here when we are talking about the second fact in terms of the particularly lab uses, or rather you could say that the lactobacillus bacteria uses. So these are often playing important role in order for the here meant of the breakdown of the food, or rather in the other hand these lab means the lactobacillus bacteria do play important role as well as favor in terms of the food or rather the nutrition's absorption. So you are often very clear about that, means what are actually the nutrition, remember. So we are having the micronutrition as well as the macronutrition. So those particularly nutrition which are required by the living organism in terms of the higher amount. So these are considered under the case of macronutrition, or rather the second case we are having the micronutrition. So those particularly nutrition which are required by the living organism in terms of the salt amount. So these are coming under the case of micronutrition. Often you could see that the vital influence of these particularly nutrition's role in terms of the plant. Remember, so we are having the certain types of the nutrients such as the copper, zinc, then the copper, zinc, then the iron, the sulfur, the molybdenum, etc. So if these are literally not being targeted or translated with reference to the particular organs of the plant body, the plant will be suffering from different types of the vital kind of the diseases, such as what? Such as the plant could have the retarded growth like symptoms. Means what? The growth could be larger than the normal height, or either the growth could be smaller than the normal height, or either in the plant you could oftenly see that the particular plant will be having the another symptoms such as the curling of limbs. So these are the certain types of the complexions or either the disorders literally being caused due to the deficiency of the nutrients. So these nutrients are do play important role to provide the amount of energy in terms of the living organisms such as the human body. As well as when we are talking about the next as well as the important role of your lab, means what? Means the lactobacillus bacteria. So these are often playing important role in terms of the another features, such as here we have understood that these are playing important role to provide what? To provide, or either here main term play important role to absorb the nutrients. Often these particularly lactobacillus bacteria play an important role in order for what? In order for treating and preventing the diarrhea. So do you remember what are actually the diarrhea? So in the case of particularly diarrhea is a kind of disease, or either you could say that the disorder in term when the particular stool of the particular organism will become what? It will be moisturous, or either you could say that the person will be suffering from the nausea, chilling, or either the vomiting like symptoms, often the chronical stomach or either the chronical abdominal pain. So these are certain of the complexions or either the symptoms which are literally being produced when the patient is literally being suffering from diarrhea. As well as these mint of the lactobacillus bacteria is playing important role in order for what? In order for treating and preventing the disorders or either the disease like diarrhea. Thus when we are talking about these things in terms of the lactobacillus bacteria,